Podfest Expo 2024 speakers from two Southerners who are not used to cold weather. We're going to bring you a very hot podcast. So, with that incredibly long-winded introduction, Jennifer, first of all, welcome and thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me today.
Thrilled to be here. Can't wait to see you at Podfest.
Indeed. Could you start off by telling us what is your role in podcasting?
So I started podcasting back in 2005 when it was just a bunch of early adopter geeks, and I fell in love. I knew it was not just going to be a thing. I knew it was going to be my thing. And in 2007, I launched National Podcast Post Month, which is a 30-day podcasting challenge in the month of November, 30 podcast episodes in 30 days. And we just celebrated our 16th year this past November. And it's just a way for newbies to dip their toes into the stream in a safe community space. And it's a great place for us seasoned podcasters to try new things and experiment, again, in a safe community space. And of course, anyone who's into tech these days or into podcasting or content creation in general knows all about that AI and how much of an impact it's having. So when it started coming out back in November of 2022, I was like, this looks like something when ChatGPT first came out. And so I joined a lot of other folks who are really just digging into it and sharing what we were discovering. And I think that's the key right now is that AI is still so new that the general world at large doesn't really know what it is and what it can do. And in and of itself, as an industry or as a segment of content creation opportunities, it's still being built from day to day and it changes from day to day. It's happening so fast that it's hard to pinpoint and say, this is what AI is right now. 5 minutes from now, it could be totally different. And so I think as creators and as podcasters, we're accustomed to embracing new technology to make what we do faster. And AI is definitely something that is impacting the way that I produce podcasts, both for myself and for my clients.
Jennifer, what can you give us a teaser of your talk or presentation at Podfest Expo 2024?
Absolutely. It's 5 minutes. I'm in the Pecha Kucha. And so there's not a lot of time to really dive into it. So I will have a slide that has here's some tools if you want to know some tools, which again could change 5 minutes from now. But really what I want for folks to know at Podfest and podcasters and podcast producers is that we have to understand that it is moving by quickly and not just for us, but for everyone else. And to give ourselves a little bit of grace on this and to lean into learning, but know that it's going to be constantly evolving and changing. That's exciting, but it can also be frustrating because it can't be a heavy lift. And if you're a podcast producer or a podcaster, you're already doing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to give everybody kind of some encouragement and also maybe a virtual hug that we're all in this together and there's a lot to learn. And it's going to be an exciting time to be a podcaster, even more so with all of the new things that are coming out with AI.
Jennifer, as this is the 10th anniversary of Podfest Expo, what are you hoping to get out of this year's conference?
Oh gosh, there's so much. Podcasting has really shifted a lot this past year. If you read the headlines, you're going to read a lot of doom and gloom. And yet, as somebody who has been in the industry from the very beginning, I think I'm going between year 18 and year 19. I've seen it all. And so I would not lean into those doom and gloom headlines. I would realize and recognize that the value that we as podcasters bring to the table is very high. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep leaning into what your craft. Keep doing it. Don't stop and don't let those headlines stop you because eventually the headlines will come back around and talking about how podcasting is the best thing since sliced bread.
Jennifer, if someone wanted to get in touch with you about your services or anything you've talked about, what would be the best place or places for them to go?
Yeah, I'm at ePodcaster on Web 2 and Web 3. That's a really great way. If you go to Twitter/X or really anywhere, you can find me at ePodcaster. My company is Brewing Media, so Jennifer at brewing.media, because I think that when you're creating content, it's a mixture of a lot of things and you brew up what makes sense for you and what works for the situation.
Jennifer, I, for one, am greatly looking forward to your presentation next week, and I hope we can catch up over a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me.
Absolutely. See you next week.